Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me, JD, for our very first metaphysical book review. Just to let you know what this is about, I'm going to be going through some of my favorite metaphysical books because I have been asked so many times, what book do you recommend for this, or what do you think of this book? And so here it is. It's going to be up on both on YouTube and my blog, and I'll link to my blog if you want a text version. Um, and I urge you to share and to subscribe and like because there's going to be a lot more coming. As many of you may remember, I'm going to be doing some interviews this year with different authors, as well as highlighting again some of my favorite books. Now, I will be getting into brand new books, but that'll probably start next year. And with any of these reviews, if you are looking for a critique or a review that's going to tear apart a book, that is not my thing. I don't believe in tearing down any piece of literature simply because something that I may not like or may not enjoy might be something that you do. And what I'd rather do is give you the highlights, what you can expect from this book, maybe a brief summary so you can get a good idea before you buy it. And I will be linking to the book at the end. And I'll also list any titles that go with it because a lot of these books are part of a series. And again, I urge you to write your comments if you've read this book or after you read the book. What did you think? And become part of the review, become part of the critique, so that other people can get a good, well-rounded idea of what they're buying and what they're getting before they get it. If you are there to tear it down, though, I don't support those comments. You can be honest. This is certainly not to fluff and become a love fest, but it is going to be a little bit more matter of fact as opposed to, oh, I hated this book, or oh my God, this book was beautiful. I loved it. I'm a little more practical. Again, I've said this before. I'm a Taurus. I'm very grounded. I'm all about the practicality. So for our very first book, we are reading the book The Realms of the Earth Angels. This is part of a series. The other titles, and I believe the first one I'm going to list came before the one I'm talking about today, is Earth Angels. So then this would be second, Realms of the Earth Angels. And then I saw another book that I just came across called Assertiveness for Earth Angels. And I thought that looked pretty interesting. I might be picking that one up as well. I've not read that one. So the title again is Realms of the Earth Angels. This is by Doreen Virtue. Many of you who are listening know her cards and her books. She's all over the place in the metaphysical world. All you have to do is go to Barnes and Noble and look at the metaphysical section, and you'll see a ton of her stuff. If you've talked to me before, you'll know that I'm not necessarily on the Doreen Virtue bandwagon, but there are some things that she presents that I enjoy and that I agree with, and there are some things that I don't. And so I think that that perspective gives this, again, a little bit more objectivity because I am somebody who takes it with a grain of salt. So anyway, the audience is really anybody who's interested in metaphysics, angels, and anybody looking to explore the journey of the spirit. Despite the name, it is not a religious book. The author, Doreen Virtue, bases her book on the premise that many of us have had lives as angels, fairies, elementals, shamans, and wizards, sorcerers, sorceress, and star people. She goes into detail about the physical features, personality traits, and people and situations that are attracted to each of these angel types. At the end, she has a good summary of each category, which is energy, physical features, and interests. And what I mean by that is it's kind of a quick reference. So if you want to know, hey, I just met somebody, I wonder where they fall into what category. You just can kind of glance at the end, and she has a quick list of, okay, star people kind of look like this, elementals kind of look like this, and they'll go into personality traits. And I thought that was kind of cool. And also interests. So if you feel like you fall into one of these categories, it is kind of cool to look at the interests. Um, and I looked at them again today and I went, oh, wow, I am doing that stuff. So it's kind of cool that we're naturally inclined. She also put support groups and other resources listed at the back for those who are dealing with some of the harder parts of being an earth angel. As any of you know who are healers or psychics or mediums, it is not an easy road. Oftentimes, we attract people to us that have very deep problems that can be destructive towards themselves, towards us, and it can be very difficult to take on all the time. And sometimes we need other people who are dealing with these issues. And these are not necessarily metaphysical support groups, but they're support groups that are targeted towards the specific issues that these people might be dealing with. So my own personal view of the book is I did enjoy it. I could see myself in a few of the types of people. And a few years ago, I was told by an angel reader which types she saw in me, and they did indeed match and matched my own personal view of myself. And she had just met me, so that was kind of cool. And I do believe in reincarnation, and that is kind of what this book is talking about, is the lives we've had before, and we oftentimes just assume that we had lives as humans. And she ventures in this book to really go beyond that and say that we might have been other beings, we might have had other jobs or duties, or even been on other planets. And I will tell you that while doing past life sessions with some of my clients, I have seen some of these lives come up. Not often. It is, I think, rarer than the book would kind of have you think. Um, at least in the amount of past life sessions I've done, and which is not, thousands and thousands, so the pool I've worked with is on the smaller scale, but I have seen some of these lives come up, and from people who've not read this book, from people who did not know that this would be a possibility. And we were both kind of surprised. So this book does confirm some of what I have seen on my own. And so I stay full of questions, and I think that this book could really bring up great conversations amongst your friends and family, and any spiritual groups. So I encourage you to give it a read and comment here with your thoughts and feelings on this book. So again, becoming part of this review and this critique. And again, there are so many books and websites that'll lead you to more information on this topic. I urge you to search and enjoy, and I'm going to include a link in the description below to Amazon where you can get this book. This is in no way paid. This is just my own personal opinions, and I hope that you enjoy it and that you, again, share, like, and subscribe. I look forward to bringing you more next month. And again, this week we're going to have our normal videos out, my weekly Bliss Wednesday, and our weekly reading, which is out on every, I think, Friday night into Saturday. It varies from day to day. Many blessings, happy reading, and I look forward to talking to you next month. Bye.